as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, hey, hey.
Welcome back to Marbella Now. My name is Nicole King, and to finish off the week, I'm delighted to welcome back to the programme Tony Bryan. He is a journalist. He writes for the Sur in English. He's also an author of many a book about authentic Spanish Spain and typical Spanish traditions and customs. Tony, how are you? How lovely to see you again, although it is virtually.
Yes, well, it's great to see you as well, Nicole. Thanks for the nice intro. I'm fine, thank you. A bit chilly. The temperature's dropped, so it's. I hate the winter. I'm a real summer person, so I'm just adjusting at the moment to this weather.
I have to say, even with the sunshine, the wind is so cold that it's totally deceiving. You go outside and the sun is like you're freezing.
Oh yeah.
I'm like you. I like the sunshine. Tony, I was really nice that, big thanks to Anita Norje for hooking up this interview again. But I love chatting with you because I love the way you love Spain. I mean, we're one of the few really English people that actually, not few, but that actually like really does enjoy the tradition, the heritage, the culture, and the fact that you can then transfer that into a book, for me, is just highly commendable. What got you started?
Very good question, actually. I think I went head first into Spanish culture, Nicole. When I came here 26 years ago now, I was a bit wet behind the ears with regards to Spain. I was a musician in England. I was one of these people who thought the world revolved around London. So my years as a rock drummer, that was my life. And when I came here, of course, it was completely different. I started to settle down, but there was something about Spain that I couldn't quite grasp. It was the music, the language, obviously, at first, and the culture was so different than what I was used to. And I think I was just captivated from the word go. And somebody took me to see some very authentic flamenco, which I'd never seen. I'd seen the castanets and frilly dresses and, the commercial flamenco. I was well aware of people like Camarón de la Isla, but at the later stage of his career. So when I witnessed the orthodox stuff, being a big jazz and blues fan myself, there was something there, something mysterious, something seducing, and I just went head first into it. And I've never really looked back, to be honest, Nicole. It's been an incredible journey because learning about a subject like flamenco here in Spain opens up so many different avenues and leads you down so many different paths, looking for the history of Spain and the Civil War and the artists and the poets. And it just took me on this incredible journey. It was like opening a huge encyclopedia. And still today, I never tire of learning different bits about the culture, the tradition, the food, everything about it. I think I was probably meant to be here.
Undoubtedly. I mean, when most English people hear flamenco, they say it sounds like someone's got a stomachache. And it's like, personally, I correlate it with a bit like country and western from the American side. It's all very tragic. There's always a story. There's always a lot of suffering going on. But there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of feeling. There's a lot of messages to be transmitted.
Yeah, I to be honest, Nicole, when I first started going, I thought, well, I didn't want to go the commercial route. I wanted the orthodox. So I first started going to the festivals. And some of these festivals normally they start about 10 o'clock in the evening and go until 4 or 5 in the morning. So it's a good few hours. And I didn't understand the music at the time. So I didn't realise, it sounded like they were all singing the same songs because I had very little understanding of the language. And I would sit through hours of somebody wailing, for want of a better phrase. But I knew there was something there. There was something much more to it than this noise, and this is one of the things I try to get across in the books. is because a lot of people just write it off. And if you're not, it's like the opera, I suppose. If you don't know anything about opera and you have to go and sit through 3 hours of it, then it can be quite painful. But I sensed there was something else, and there's a lot of emotion. And of course, once I started on the history and going back to sort of the 19th century, the 18th century, it was incredible, because the flamenco tradition, there's so much history there, and it shares many similarities with the evolution of jazz music, because the music of the Negroes very similar to the music of the Gypsies or Los Gitanos. So it really was an incredible thing to discover, I suppose.
What would be the main tips you would say to the untrained ear for them to give them the reason to persist, to maybe follow through? Because as you say, once you appreciate the nuances of what they're actually doing and why, it takes on another whole meaning.
I think one of the main things, Nicole, and this is the same with any aspect of living in Spain, is to learn the language. Because if you're listening to a song that you can't understand the words, then you miss a very big part of it. It's like watching Spanish television when you really don't know what's going on, or watching a Spanish film or in the theatre. If you have the basics of the language and you can relate to what... I used to go to festivals, Nicole, and I would hear the word Malaga mentioned, and the crowd would go mad. That was the only word I understood in the beginning. Of course, once I realised that singer might be making a particular reference to something very special, it might be Malaga Football Club, it could be Malaga Dulce wine, it was that. But it just created this reaction from the audience. And of course, flamenco is a very audience participation thing, they all clap and they all join in and get up and dance. And these festivals are just, I don't know, I never tire of going to them. And unfortunately, this year, there hasn't been any. Or very few and far between. So it's been a very sad year, as it has for the whole entertainment industry. But it got to the summer. Normally the ferias, excuse me, I disappeared to a small town called Utrera in September for the best feria in the whole of Spain. And it's because Utrera is predominantly a gypsy village, and a big percentage of Andalusia's most prominent flamenco artists come from this town. So in the feria, they're all there. And you get these impromptu sessions, which are the best. This is the greatest way to enjoy flamenco, is to be in a caseta or in a bar and somebody just starts singing and I don't know, the grandmother gets up and she starts dancing, and it's just an incredible feeling. It's the ambience that is good. People think flamenco is sad, and there obviously are sad song styles that are normally sung sad. There's over 50 different styles of flamenco. It's not just one style. But in general, flamenco is very up. And I'll never forget what a dancer, he's become a good friend of mine now, a guy from Malaga called El Carretti. And he said to me, you must remember that flamenco dance is up and everything else is down. And when you see these family reunions and the impromptu sessions, because that is what flamenco is about, it really is an enjoyable and an uplifting occasion. It never fails to excite me. It's just incredible.
I know years ago I did flamenco and Sevillana lessons, and apart from being great exercise for the upper chest with all this hand movement and the castanets, when you actually get to appreciate the movements, why they're doing these different movements, it makes a big difference. Sevillanas is a much lighter form, as I understand it, of flamenco, and you are a big fan of Seville. You've also written a book about Seville. What is your particular fondness for Seville above other cities that you've chosen to write about?
I suppose a 25-year association with it. Obviously, this is where I discovered flamenco in Seville. This is where I did most of the research for my books. My partner's from Seville, so I had this. I don't know. It's just one of these places, again, a bit like flamenco. When I go to Seville, it always does something to me. I always feel slightly different in myself. It makes me happy, and it doesn't matter if it's 45 degrees in August or -2 in December, because the weather really does change there. But Seville is just an incredible, as are all the provinces, the capitals of Andalusia. But Seville seems to just stand out that little bit more than the others. the people, I would think, would be one of the things that keeps me attracted, because the people of Seville they are different, not better, but they are different than the people of Malaga, different than Cordoba, like any city. But they tend to have this incredible zest for life and for fiesta. You know, and you can go for lunch and be on a very tight schedule for lunch between 2 and 3, and 5 o'clock you're still in the restaurant. So, and everyone says, oh, what the hell, there's always tomorrow, you know. So it's that attitude where they enjoy life to the fullest.
Well, I have to say that one of the reasons I love being here is because all they say in Spain, everything is mañana, tomorrow. In Andalusia, it's pasado mañana, the day after tomorrow. And
Yes,
I have
of
to
course.
say, I embrace that philosophy. I think it would do us all a lot of good to embrace that philosophy. Some of us have actually caught on during lockdown, realising that you can't be there for everything and nothing happens when you're not.
No, of course, and I think certainly most British, when you come here, Nicole, you sort of rebel against that, because we're, you know, the British, you know, if we say 5 o'clock tomorrow, 5 o'clock tomorrow it isn't, you know, whereas you soon lose that. It's like going to the bank, and I used to be absolutely infuriated every time I went to the bank years ago, because you get there and you'd be there for 2 hours. And there'd be, you know, no real reason other than the people who go into the counter would like to stand and chat to the person serving them, you know. And of course, we'd be in the background, sort of what's going on. That's all gone for me now. I mean, it went years ago, and
Now you're the one who's standing there talking to the cashier for half an hour.
yes, of course, yeah, I'm the one who
You appreciate
know,
that is living. That is part of life.
Yeah. Of course, there's the side with your job, you know, my job, we do have to meet deadlines. So that my life is sort of split in two. There's this work, and then there's my life. And my life, nothing really matters. If there's flamenco going on, let's go and watch it. You know, everything else can wait. But with the work, then we have to be a little bit more regimental and sort of toe the line a bit more.
Well, kind of we get the best of both worlds.
I think so. I mean, my job, Nicole, I'm sure you're the same, you know. I love my job because it gets me out and about, and I meet fabulous people that have done incredible things. And it's just, to me, it isn't like a getting up in the morning and going to work. It's something I really love to do. I enjoy it so much.
We are truly blessed, Tony, and I'm really grateful that thanks to technology and you taking time out of another deadline, because I know they're waiting for you to get the paper to bed. So
I'm going to go back to work in a minute, yeah.
I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for taking time. I look forward to catching up with you again. But in the meanwhile, boys and girls, what a great Christmas present for family and friends. Book about traditional flamenco, book about Seville, and of course you can catch up with Tony in the Sur in English anytime you want.
You certainly can, yeah. Just take this quick opportunity to say Merry Christmas, because I doubt I'm going to see you before, Nicole. So, and it is a bit early, I know, but I'm starting to get in that sort of festive slowdown mood now. And as we edge towards, I suppose it'll be Christmas
It's next week. It's going to be just next week. Yeah. So Merry Christmas to you too, Tony.
And to you. Thank you very
so
much for having me on again, Nicole. And hopefully next time I'll be able to come to the studio and see you.
I fingers crossed. I look forward to it. Thank you so much, Tony. Well, if you'd like to read Tony's books, please do go and contact him directly, contact the Sur in English, or go online and find his books because they make great gifts. We're going to go now to some messages from our sponsors, the Road Traffic Safety Foundation Linear Director, offering free taxi up to 4 times a month for policyholders, including taxi to take you home. And then also our Zero Hero incentive, which the Road Traffic Safety Foundation of Linear Director is sponsoring with the free disposable breathalyzers and helping our local bars, restaurants and hotels get that coverage here on the TV show and the support from our community, knowing they're giving free soft drinks to the designated driver. Don't go away. We'll be back after this.
Judy likes to consider herself a clever young woman, which is why she thought very carefully before choosing her insurance company. Now that she needs it, she's jolly glad she chose Linear Director, as it looks as if she might have something better to do. Why don't you be clever, like Judy? Call Linear Director on 952 14 78 34 and see which policy is best for you.
When I'm the designated driver, I think it's only fair that I get to choose a zero-hero venue that rewards me with free soft drinks. My friends all get to choose and booze, and they feel safe going home with me. Make sure that you get your reward for being the designated driver. Why pay if you don't have to?
Zero Hero, welcome to the Playlights.
Hello guys, welcome to Harbor. All the designated drivers are welcome here to the Harbor. And we are very proud to be a Zero Hero partner.
G-Wine is happy to be Zero Hero partner.
Clara are proud to present Zero to Hero. Never drink and drive.
Yes, I mean, do you think that's across the piece?
McNulty's is proud to be a Zero Hero partner. Casa Tua is proud to be a Zero Hero partner.
We're all thinking about Christmas and undoubtedly presents. I can only but plead that you buy your presents in charity shops from our local businesses, and if you do go out, that you go to the local businesses and support them. They really do need our support, undoubtedly. As Spectrum says in their advertising, if we don't use them, we will lose them. When I walk out and about Marbella, I think there's another business closed every single day. It is up to us local residents to use our local businesses. Please don't go to the big shops or buy online when you can buy something locally. And I can but encourage you to go to our charity shops. I got this for €3 in the Butterfly Children or the Kudeka shop, I'm not sure which, but they all have great stuff. We live in a great area where people have lots of money and they often give away things they've never even used. Remember also, dine and donate with AAA. If you go to one of the participating businesses and you say that you've come to dine and donate for AAA, they will give a percentage of your bill to the Animal Rescue Centre. Likewise, Zero Hero partners are rewarding the designated driver with free soft drinks. Always good to go to local businesses, but particularly those who are involved with our local community. Well, that's it for me for today. Take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow.
Upon tonight, I'm a little divided. Should I stay and run away, leave it all behind? It's times like these you learn to live again. It's times like these you give and give again. It's times like these you learn to love again. It's times like these and time again.
COVID-19 has hit many local families hard, and Christmas is looking bleak. 40 to 50% more people are struggling to feed their families without the help of the Red Cross. Many of the families in need have never needed our help before, but they need our help today more than ever. If you can, please consider donating and helping our Red Cross campaign. No amount is too small to make a big change. Thank you.
It's times like these you give and give again. It's times like these you learn to love again.
I can't believe another week is over. Already mid-December, Christmas really is just around the corner. And everything's so strange, everything's so different. The one thing that is constant is that we're here for each other. No one needs be alone. Whether you're young, old, you're here with family, or you're here on your own, Marbella has a really strong resident community. And if you're not sure what to do or how to do it, please contact me and I will hopefully put you in contact with the right people. I don't want you to suffer. There is something for everyone here, whether it's going out and having fun or someone just to chat with or do your shopping for you. Marbella is a great resident community. And at the moment, without tourists, that's all we have. We have to rely on each other. If you have something to share with us and the community, please do contact me. I'll be delighted to share it, bring you on the show and chat with you, or take the cameras to you and record so that the community knows what you're up to. In the meanwhile, I invite you please to share what other people are doing. It's the best way, helping others to be successful ourselves. I'll be back next week with more interesting interviews and recordings from out and about in the city. In the meanwhile, remember to pick up a copy of the Euro Weekly News or check it out online, because there I have my column Marbella Moments, and you can go to my website nicoleking.es for links directly to the Zero Hero website, the Euro Weekly News column in the Euro Weekly, and of course the programme here. Everything that you could want to know is happening in Marbella Now. Take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, y hasta la semana que viene. See you next week. Bye for now.
Arrows shoot straight to your heart. We